Hey you guys, I am excited to say I'm finally in the paper trading stage where I am going to be paper trading for the next 3 months and testing out how my performance is actually in the live markets, because I did all this data collection for 50 trades and I came out to have a positive trending curve that is proving itself to be profitable. And so now it's time to go into the next phase where we are forward testing and actually pretending to actually trade in real time. And I've already identified several things that I need to improve already. And I'm so glad that I am choosing to paper trade and forward test before jumping straight in, because there's so many things I right off the bat I did not even realize I was supposed to do, things that I just forgot. And I think the trade that I hopped into for my first paper trade isn't even that fantastic of quality. Back in my data collection, these green areas are just data or trades that ended up being runners, and so that's why they're green. So I still haven't gone. Today I plan to go and study all of these images, all 50 of these trades, and look for similarities and patterns and see what can be changed or improved. But I'm still gonna start my paper trading journey for the next 3 months and get used to doing that and work out the kinks. But I still want to look at all of these trades, all these 50 trades, and see what I can improve and adjust. I don't have to adjust my plan, but I would like to, just for information's sake, just to know for the future. I think I'm going to stick to my rules right now, but just to keep in mind things that I might consider changing in the future. And so the trade that I actually entered was Peloton, and I'm going to do a little breakdown on it. This is what the trade is on my entry time frame. I ended up trading off of, let me delete that. I ended up trading off of this double MB entry right here. Wait, sorry, my mouse is actually going crazy today. And so here's my double MB entry, or it could be drawn like that, whatever. And that's all nice and dandy and stuff, but if you look over here on the validation time frame, actually let's start on the weekly time frame to start from the top. So when I analyze a market, I look for a clear downtrending market, which we get right here, and then I look for a clear break up and a pullback to a 50 MA, or I'm sorry, a clear run up. Where are my notes? I know my rules, but I just want to look at the words that I use to explain clearer. So a clear one-sided market that goes below the 50 MA, and then we get demand validation, which we do get, and then a clear big candle proof or string of candles or a gap up like we've never seen before up through the 50 MA, and then a pullback to a 10 or 20 and about a 2 to 3 candle average, which so far everything is following the rules, honestly. The size of the pullback was like 2 to 3 candles, and that's kind of the size that I look for. And I like when it touches the 10 or 20 MB or 10 or 20 MA. Those are some of my requirements, and I only enter off of MMB 1, 2, or 3, which we are on number 1 on the weekly time frame. So far everything's looking great. The only thing I don't really like is the fact that it doesn't really make that giant clear gap up or clear candle, string of candle proof that shows we are bullish. Like, to me, we look like we're still just going down on generally, like we just look like we're just still going down. We don't, if we're having like some clear candle proof, it would look like this. It would be accumulating, and then it would go up, and then it would have a pullback. And that would be clear candle proof. To me, that's not really clear candle proof. I'm not saying it's a bad, I'm not saying that it's not a valid opportunity to go up. It is something that you can go up from. I mean, even we have a stage 1 and then stage 2, and then this could be a larger stage 1, and then this could be a stage 2. This is just really big, so it kind of distorts things if that's actually the case. But so other than the weekly time frame not looking as strong as I would like it to, it's just really not something I should have entered, and that's the truth. So that's number one problem why I feel like this is not the best trade that I could have entered, especially like on my first one. But it's my first one, so I was like, oh my gosh, okay, like it's time to enter. It's meeting all my requirements. But now I know my discernment needs to improve. The next thing why I think it's not a good quality trade, I'll go down time frames to show you the rest. But I did not even look at the volume, and luckily the volume is 5 million. I think that's my minimum, because if I go any lower, if I look for any stocks, trade any stocks that are any lower, it seems that they don't move as much. As I'm vaguely remembering my rules when I used to study and like pay attention to volume. Maybe my opinion will change, but when I was trading the lower time frames, I think 5 million was my minimum. Otherwise, things weren't really moving that much. And so luckily, it is at least 5 million, but the problem is I didn't even look, and that is not cool. Like, I need to look at that. And then the third reason why I am not too proud of my trade is because earnings. Is this earnings? Yeah, it is. I didn't look to see if there was going to be any like earnings going on within the next day or so, and that would be dangerous. Luckily, again, there was no earnings that were happening that are happening the day after entering this trade, or the next day or two. Is there? No, I think 50 days. So again, I got lucky right there. So I should have looked at earnings and volume. And then the last reason I think it's kind of a bad trade is because I didn't even look at the overall market on what the actual market is doing, the general market. I don't know if Peloton, I don't know if Peloton is actually in this QQQ or SPY. I don't know if it follows the tech stocks or whatever it's called, but in general, I think we usually just look at QQQ to see what the market is doing in general, and I didn't even do that. I literally was just looking at I just opened and found Peloton, and I was like, oh, there's an opportunity, it's perfect timing, so I entered, and that was not cool. So I don't like those reasons that I should have looked for a stock that's like that's leading. I should have looked for something similar in the sector that Peloton might be in, and see if this stock is strong compared to Peloton, or compared to the other stocks that are in the same sector. So we know what's going on the weekly time frame and where we are in price. We had a run up, and then we had a pull back to a 10 or 20, beautiful. And then the other reason, I think this was the last one, was because I entered within the stage 1 of the validation time frame. Technically, this could be MMB1 on the validation, but honestly, if we're being honest, I think it's just the accumulation. I think these are just accumulation MBs, and I think that if this wants to run, then it will go up and then actually pull back or have a MMB1 right there and then go, if it works out that way. But so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this kind of, yes, it went up and it pulled back to a 10 or 20. It did. So it could be MMB1, but there could have been a clearer one that was not within this range that we're still in, because I don't really enter in ranges. I wait till it's clear and we have a MMB1 that's very clear, not something that's hidden. And that's just what I'm used to seeing. because when I enter on something that's kind of in the range, what happens is this. This is what happens. It will go up just like it's doing, and then it'll just go back and pull back, maybe even deeper, and then come up and then make its clear actual MMB1 and then run. Or it can do what I just said, and it can actually go up, pull back, and then go. So there's two options on what can happen, and I just don't like entering off of MMB ones that are in this area within the range, because there's a chance that it can go deeper and stop me out, and I rather just enter on the real MMB one that happens over here. That would happen after that or very soon during this time. So, and then we know that the entry time frame, I don't have any problems with the entry over here. Actually, I think I might have, no, I didn't miss it. This is the entry. This is the double MB candles. So yeah, I am waiting to go to a 1 to 5, and actually if this goes and goes down and then goes up, then once we cross above this level right here, then we will be sitting at break even. And so if we break and close above here, then we will be at break even. So hopefully that will happen. And that's about it for that one. And I think I was gonna, I wanted to paper trade. I wanted to do a tiny little paper trading session right now. I wanted to do RKLB because I know that there's a couple opportunities where I could have gotten a trade. Was that the one? Yeah, it was RKLB. And there was a couple opportunities where I wanted to see if I could have caught all of them. I wanted to see if I actually... Where's the data? There's no data anywhere. Oops. Okay, let's redo this. It worked when I backtested something else. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I know RKLB has a small handful of opportunities from when I was looking at it on the higher time frame, and I want to just see if I've never backtested it, I don't think, or if I did, I don't remember, but I want to see if, okay, all right, what's going to happen? There it is. I want to see if I could catch any of them, catch any of the opportunities, test my skill. Wow, that maybe I need to put on the gap candles so that I can see price a little better. There is no structure. Okay, I'll just turn that off for now. Oh, okay. All right, so we have our first little structure going on, and it looks like we had an accumulation, a run up, and a pullback basically to a 10 or 20, and that is close enough for me, so I'm gonna go down a time frame and see what we got. We got a flush, we got a rise up, and then a pull back, and maybe we'll have an entry. Nothing. See if we go up. Oh. Well, let me just backtrack because I would have stopped my mouse. I think the battery's going out. On this time frame, we have a stage 1, stage 2, stage 1, stage 2. Did I miss? Yeah, I would say that this would be MMB2 on the validation time frame. Got our MMB1 that was on the weekly time frame. Kind of looks like, well, no, we are still in a stage 1. That would be exactly what I did yesterday. Okay, now it looks like we I don't know. Let me see. We did have a little run up, and then we had a pull back. And then the entry would have been right there. And we are pulling back again. I'm not going to enter off of that, though. There was no opportunity anyways. See? You see how it went further? Because we're still in this range. It's not like it went up and pulled back and went. It went further down. And that's what might happen to my other one, or to the one that I'm in right now. Luckily, it's just paper trading, but still. I'm drinking lemon water. All right, we had a flush on the weekly and a rise up and a pull back to a 10 or 20. We have a flush on the validation, rise up, pull back to a 10 or 20. What would that be? Maybe that would be, I'd say that would be MMB1 on the validation time frame. I would look for an entry here. I would enter up through here if it goes. Not anymore. I would look up for a rise up, a pullback, and then a go. Okay. No entry. Oops. Entry would be right here. I would take it. Looks like it would have tapped us in. Alright, I'm gonna 9:30, 11:22, 2021. I am gonna track it as part of my data. I'd say that was a pretty good setup. Not mad about it. And then this is like a massive MMB1 on the weekly. Put them in the wrong spot. Okay. -1, 0. Was it? Yeah, it was. Onward. We might still have some opportunity over here. I'd look for an entry here. It looks like we might not get an entry though. Yeah. I don't know why these ones, the blue ones, get in the way for me. That can be MMB1. We did have a nice rise up, but it's just not really coming up through the 50 MA, which it doesn't have to. It could be below it with the 50 going sideways, but the 50 is not really going sideways. It's going more, it's still kind of going down, so not interested. Like now it's going sideways. More than it was over here, at least. Now we are in a range. There you go. Let's get a nice pullback. Perfect. That would be MMB1 on the weekly. We got a flush on the heck is that candle doing? We got a flush on the validation. I always thought I was amazing at multitasking, which I still think I am, but when it comes to talking, multitasking that involves speaking and doing something, or explaining something and doing something, that's where I kind of can't do it. That's where I'm not good at it. There would be the entry. Not anymore. I wonder if we're gonna catch the trades that I thought that I saw. I wonder if RKLB is even the stock that I was looking at that I thought there would be some trades that I could catch. So far, it doesn't look like it. Maybe it was Roblox? No. It had to have been this one. I mean, there wasn't that many, though. Okay, so we had a run up and then a distribution, maybe for the opportunity for the what's the word? For the something to move higher, anticipation to move higher. And then we had a flush on the validation, rise up, looking for an entry off this MMB1 on the validation time frame. And that would be so sad. That would be the entry right there, but I don't really take entries off of MMB1s on the entry. I just take it off the double MB accumulation. So I would not have taken this. It's kind of a really weird sized entry anyways. So that is not our fault right there. We could have caught in it. It just did not follow my rules. So I'll say that that's a win. Or that's like a plus, that at least I caught that one. Okay, there's MMB1, MMB2. Gosh, the rule to wait for the pullback really keeps me out of a lot of opportunity. But I would say I have a low tolerance for taking losses that I feel like I could prevent, at least some. This would be number one on the validation. I just feel like I took a lot of losses when I wasn't waiting for the pullback to the what MMB is this? There would have been one right there. I don't know if I would consider this 2. I guess I would for now. 3. I would not try it again. I would not take any more trades after this area. But I will be looking for a entry right here. It looks kind of weird. Sheesh. They're really testing me with the... I was going to say this would have been another MMB1 entry that I would have had to stay out of. There's another one. There's one right here. That's rather large. That's actually kind of huge. I would not take that. that size stop loss is way too big. So what I could do is technically make that, do it like that, and then have my entry the same area, but then move it right there. Does that make it any better? Yeah, it does. So I could use that as my stop loss, that second, that little pullback right there. Should I do it? I'll do it. Screw it. Okay, that was 2/10/2025. 2/10/2025. Wow. Let's see if this followed my rules. It didn't follow too well of rule. Oh, I mean, okay. The MMBs are 2 to 3 candles on average. So this one had like a little pullback, and then it had like a double pullback right there, which was 2 candles. But the fact that it had a little pullback right there, it makes it like several candles. I don't know. It kind of looks like uncertainty, to be honest, now that I'm looking at it. But other than that, it was following my rules. And then on the validation time frame, it did distribute below the 10 or 20, but that is not clear. Like, I would have wanted a beautiful flush underneath and then a rise up and a pullback, but instead it was like a chop and then a rise up and a pullback. And it kind of actually I don't even want to track this because I'm so embarrassed by how terrible it looks. But it is what it is, I guess. But it went below the 10 or 20. It did not pull back to 1. It went below. So I should have actually waited for a clear push up and then a pullback to make an MMB1. But to me, this was MMB1, but it made another flush. So I should have waited for it to go back up and then make a new MMB1 because it literally flushed. And then I was looking for an entry in the flush. So if it goes, it's probably going to go now. And it fails. I got to track that, though. I'm losing my voice. It's okay. This video will be over soon enough. That was... Today's session is just ruining my profitable curve. And to think I was ready to start trading. No, this is why you do this. This is why we do this. Exactly because of this. Get that out of my way. All right. I'm over here thinking I'm going to catch wins on RKLB to prove how good of a trader I am. I feel like I get to this point every during my backtest sessions where I'm like, okay, I need to have better I have to have better discretion. I forgot the word that I use. We had a flush, rise up, pull back. Honestly, hang on, I'm confused. Because isn't this technically like MMB4? Or wait. Like, isn't this where it falls off? Isn't this where it's supposed to fall off? Or is this MMB3? Okay, well now that I don't even know. Oh. I did not catch it. That was sad. But that's okay. I was confused, so that's okay. And I would not have had a clear entry anyway because it flushed again. It flushed. Okay, things are not looking as clear as they seemed. All right, we have stage 1, stage 2, MMB1. Let's see, MMB 2, MMB 3. This looks, whoa, beautiful. This looks like what I should be trading. Hopefully there's a entry. Give us a pullback. There you go. I'll take the entry off that. Oh, never mind. Okay, hang on. Maybe 1. Yeah, so it would have to be like that, which that's a no, because again, that's huge. And there's really no option to, oh, good. Thank you. I was gonna say there's no option to do that, to get a smaller stop loss. There's a entry right there, opportunity. Well, not for me at least. This stock loves to, I feel like it moves in its own way, like in its own little language. Like it's got like its same patterns in the way it moves. So that's MMB 3. This is MMB 1, basically. Would I enter off of something that high? I don't trust it. Like, I just don't even trust the stock, so. We should just end this recording right now. Let's see if we could catch something. We're in 2025 already, so we'll be done soon. All right, that looks nice. That's MMB 1 on the weekly. That was my sister. Got a flush, rise up, pull back, but we flush, so I'm gonna look for another rise up and a pull back. Laptop froze. Oh, no rise up or pull back, just a run without me. So I would not have caught that, but I was definitely looking at it, and that's a number 2 for, I'm not mad about it because I wouldn't have missed that. Because if it had a setup, I would have taken it. Oh, okay, there you go. All right, so this one was kind of a fail, but it's okay. Good. Oops. The more data, the better. And why is that? It's okay. Okay, the more data, the better, and we're gonna see what Peloton does. Let's see what it does right now. Yeah, that just looks like definitely should not have entered anything. Should just wait till like we get like up in this upper half at least. But that's all good. Maybe I'll get lucky. But if I don't, honestly, that should be a lesson learned for sure. All right, well, I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.